Do you feel overwhelmed by life's challenges and wish you could face them with unshakable mental strength? Discover how the power of mindful thinking, inspired by the legendary teachings of Miyamoto Musashi, can transform your mind and make you resilient in any situation. Lesson 1. Pause and reflect. In today's fast-paced world, taking a moment to relax can seem like an unnecessary extravagance. However, the famous warrior Miyamoto Musashi stressed the importance of being still and reflecting as a way to become strong and clear. Musashi thought that pausing wasn't a sign of weakness, but a smart move that helped you think about what was going on, reevaluate, and move forward with purpose. This lesson is very important for mental health because it helps us understand our feelings, thoughts, and behaviors better. When we stop and think, we can break out of the automatic, reactive routines that can run our daily lives. When we meet trouble or a challenge, our first instinct is often to act right away, which can be caused by fear, anger, or anxiety. As long as we pause for a moment, there is time between the stimulus and our reaction. This is the place where mindfulness grows, which helps us deal with things in a cool and collected way. Musashi taught us that the mind, like a sword, should move slowly and carefully, without being sloppy or careless. This process goes deeper when we reflect on our events and learn from them. By thinking about what we did and what we chose, we can see what went well, what didn't, and how we can make things better. A lot of people knew that Musashi carefully evaluated himself after every fight, looking at both his wins and losses. He thought that knowing yourself was the key to controlling both the mind and the sword. In the same way, thinking about our actions and thoughts helps us become smarter by making us more self-aware and emotionally intelligent. It's not necessary to make big moves to learn how to pause and think. It all starts with small, deliberate actions. Every day, take a few minutes to sit still, breathe deeply, and watch your thoughts without judging them. Writing in a journal can also be very helpful because it lets you express your thoughts and think about your problems on paper. Over time, these practices will help you develop the habit of thoughtful self-reflection, which will help you handle the challenges of life with poise and ease. Do nothing that is useless, Musashi wisely advised. It's never a waste of time to stop and think. It's an important part of getting to know your inner world and keeping your mind strong during any storm. Lesson 2. Control what you can. There will always be things in life that we can't change. The famous ninja Miyamoto Musashi taught that the best way to be strong is to focus on what you can change and let go of the rest. His theory tells us to sharpen our minds by mastering what we can control instead of wasting time and energy on things we can't. Picture yourself in a storm. Even though you can't stop the rain, you can get inside or change your sails if you're at sea. This comparison also works in real life. Instead of worrying about what other people are doing, the market, or things that happened in the past, focus on how you are reacting, what choices you are making, and how you are thinking. See what your eyes can't see was something that Musashi said a lot. This means getting past the chaos and figuring out where your real power is. To do this, start by putting your worries into groups. Make 2 lists, one with things you can change and one with things you can't. For example, you can't change what other people think of you, but you can change how you react to feedback. Focusing on the people you can affect helps you save mental energy and become stronger. Musashi also stressed being ready and able to change. He thought that being in charge of your own thoughts and feelings helped you deal with the unknowns in the outside world. For example, you can't be sure what questions you'll be asked on a test or in a job interview, but you can study hard, keep your cool, and manage your nerves. A big part of this process is thinking mindfully. Your thoughts about what might happen or what went wrong will go away when you focus on the present. This attention makes it easier for you to act clearly and quickly. This way of thinking becomes a habit after a while of regular practice. You won't feel helpless when you face problems. Instead, you'll approach them with focus and purpose. In the Book of 5 Rings, Musashi wrote, "Make your way by moving forward through calm and storm alike. When you learn how to control what you can, your mind becomes so strong that nothing else can shake it." Lesson 3. Develop mental agility. Mental agility means being able to quickly adjust to new situations and think of new ideas when you're under a lot of stress. The life of Miyamoto Musashi shows this to be true. You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain. He told them as a samurai and strategist to stress how important it was to be flexible. This realization makes us more open to different ideas and answers. Having an open mind is the first step to becoming mentally agile. When we face problems, we shouldn't be rigidly stuck to one way of doing things. Instead, we should think about other options. For example, if a job project isn't going as planned, we can come up with new ways to do it or ask our coworkers for help. Being ready to change direction shows power, not weakness. Being mindful is a key part of improving mental speed. We can reply thoughtfully instead of emotionally if we stay present and watch things without judging them. For example, during a heated argument, pausing to breathe and think can help us move the conversation in a positive way instead of making things worse. Musashi's ideas also teach us to be open to the unknown. He thought that being able to change was what made you truly strong. This idea is clear in his famous book of 5 Rings. In the book, he talks about how a skilled fighter changes their moves depending on the situation and the enemy. In the same way, our resilience in life depends on how well we can change. We need to question our beliefs and leave our safe zones in order to become mentally agile. We can make our minds more flexible by trying new things, listening to different points of view, and always looking for ways to learn. In this way, we get ready to face unexpected events with style and creativity. So, being mentally agile doesn't mean always having the right answers. It means being open to new ideas and able to adjust to changes. It's a skill that gets better with practice, giving us the confidence and strength to deal with life's uncertainties. Lesson 4. Embrace your inner strength. Real mental strength comes from knowing and accepting how resilient you are. This idea is shown by Miyamoto Musashi's life. He leaned on his inner strength to keep going even though he was going through a lot of problems. He wrote, "Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world." This means that we should think about things in a bigger picture to find power within ourselves. Self-belief is the first step to accepting your inner power. We need to believe in our ability to get through tough situations, even when they look impossible. Thinking about times when we overcame problems in the past can help us remember how strong we are. For instance, remembering a time when we overcame a personal setback can help us believe in our current skills. Musashi also taught that focus and persistence are very important. Being strong inside doesn't mean never feeling scared or unsure. It means acting on those feelings even though they are there. We build mental strength by sticking to our goals and getting through tough times. Consistent effort makes us stronger, whether we're trying to stick to a good habit or reach a long-term goal. Self-compassion is another important part of having inner power. Being kind to ourselves when things are hard makes us stronger. We don't have to be hard on ourselves when we think we've failed. Instead, we can be proud of our efforts and focus on growing. Musashi's wise words tell us to walk the 1,000-mile road step by step, which means to make progress, not perfect. Finding our values and meaning in life also makes us stronger on the inside. Finding our way back to what really means to us gives us the strength to face challenges head-on. As an example, if family is one of our core values, remembering ourselves of our promise to those we love can give us the strength to get through hard times. When we accept our inner strength, we learn to believe ourselves and handle the ups and downs of life with strength and self-assurance. Musashi's teachings tell us to find the strength and drive to get through anything. Lesson 5. Let go of perfectionism. Perfectionism can really get in the way of being mentally strong. Miyamoto Musashi taught us to take a balanced approach, where we should aim for excellence without letting the fear of failing stop us. He said, "There is good and no evil in the void. There is life in wisdom, principle, and the way, but there is no life in spirit." This idea tells us that holding on too tightly to our ideals can stop us from growing. Changing what success means is the first step to letting go of standards. We don't have to strive for perfection. Instead, we can focus on making growth and learning. When we're learning a new skill, for example, accepting that we'll make mistakes is a healthy way to grow without putting too much pressure on ourselves. This change in how you think makes you less anxious and more resilient. Mindful thinking helps us fight perfectionism by making us more self-aware and open to accepting ourselves as they are. When we catch ourselves focusing on standards that are too high, we can stop and ask ourselves if these standards are good or bad. Being aware of this helps us refocus and approach chores in a healthier way. Musashi's mindset also stresses how important it is to be flexible over being perfect all the time. He didn't rely on just one move in his duels. Instead, he changed his tactics depending on what was going on. Similarly, we get more done in life if we are open to change and fluid rather than if we stick to rigid perfectionist ideals. Being grateful is another way to let go of the need to be perfect. When we focus on what we've done instead of what we need to do, we can enjoy our efforts more. For instance, a positive attitude is strengthened by celebrating small wins, such as finishing a difficult job or taking a step toward a goal. Giving up on being great doesn't mean settling for average. It means realizing that flaws are part of being human and that working toward progress is more sustainable than chasing an ideal that can't be reached. By seeing things this way, we can free our minds from the stress of trying to be perfect and build mental power. Lesson 6. Stay connected to your purpose. We stay steady during life storms by having a purpose. Miyamoto Musashi had a clear goal in life: to become the best at what he did and follow the rules of the samurai. He wrote, "Decide that today you will beat yourself for yesterday. Tomorrow you will beat people with less skill, and later you will beat people with more skill." This lesson makes it clear how important it is to stay connected to our purpose if we want to grow and be strong. Find your core values first. This will help you connect with your mission. What's really important to you? Whether it's family, creativity, service, or personal growth, making sure your actions are in line with your values gives you a feeling of purpose and direction. For instance, if helping others is one of your core values, then volunteering or teaching can help you feel like you have a purpose in life. By encouraging us to be present and deliberate, mindful thinking strengthens our link to purpose. We don't have to go through life automatically. We can stop and ask, is this in line with my goals and values? This practice helps us put important things ahead of things that are distracting us. Musashi's lessons also stress how important it is to keep going until we reach our goal. There will always be problems and failures, but sticking to our goals makes us stronger mentally. For example, if it gets hard to reach a job goal, remembering why we started can spark our motivation again. Purpose also helps you see things more clearly when things are hard. Seeing problems through the lens of our bigger goals can help us stay focused when things go wrong. For instance, a difficult job at work might seem too much to handle, but remembering how it fits into your career goals can help you handle it better. Keeping in touch with your goal is an ongoing process. Going back to your goals, thinking about how far you've come, and enjoying big wins will keep your sense of purpose alive. Musashi's advice will help you grow the mental strength to face life's challenges with clarity and determination if you follow this road. Using these lessons will help you think more mindfully, which will keep your mind strong and help you handle life's problems with strength and grace. The timeless lessons of Miyamoto Musashi show us the way to a life with meaning, balance, and inner power.